Sacrament of Matrimony is one of the 7 sacraments, no, instituted by our Lord, which man and woman will come together and will become one flesh. Okay. Firstly, the importance of one of the principal characteristics of marriage is that it is for unitive, which is for the good of the spouses, no? The love between the husband and the wife, and secondly, for the education and the rearing of children. And this is very significant. Why? Because first, the love of a husband and wife is an image of the love of God to His people. And then for the gift of children, it is also an participation in the power of God, which is the gift of children. It is the power given to man in order to bring out the gift of children. Firstly, we have to understand that in a wedding ceremony, the minister, which is the one who will bring into effect the sacrament, unlike the other sacraments, like for example, the minister of baptism, of course, is the priest, or the minister of the Eucharist is the priest, no? Which means the lay cannot celebrate. The lay cannot celebrate the Mass. The lay cannot celebrate baptism. But in the case of marriage, the minister of marriage are the spouses themselves, not the priest. Why? Because it is through the consent of man and woman, no? Marriage is consumed. So when one freely gives his freedom to marry that person, no, in which he consent to marriage, then the spouses themselves, when they exchange their vows, they are the ministers of baptism, and the priest, no, is just a witness on behalf of the church, no, to attest, no, the validity of marriage. Yes, I have administered sacrament, quite a good number already. The requirements that we call it into 2 parts. First, of course, they have to get to know each other. That's the very basic, because it is very difficult for you to give yourself to the other person, of course, without knowing beforehand. So I think that is the first part. That is why, there is the courtship. It is important. More than being attractive physically to the person, it is important to get to know the person, his family, his weaknesses, but as well as the positive that is in him. And after a certain period in which you get to know each other, and you're ready yourself, and you're ready to bind yourself in marriage, then perhaps we can go to the second part, which is to prepare the necessary documents. Why do we have to prepare documents when one presents himself or herself to marriage? Why? Because it is one way in which we protect the dignity of marriage. Because it is not like marriage in Hollywood. If it doesn't work between 2 persons, you can always get it back. Yeah. Or if we use it in our term, hatag bawi. Kung dili gani tamo click, then iuli natin kasi ginikanan, no? At least this is not a game. So precisely, documents are there to protect the spouses and to protect the institution of marriage. So firstly, if they are Catholics, of course they have to prepare their baptismal certificate, and then their confirmation certificate, of course, and then they also have to undergo Precana, which is a seminar, to at least to give a seminar to the would-be couple, at least the basic guidelines on how they are to live their lives as husband and wife according to their Christian faith. symbols that is used in marriage. For example, the wedding rings. And this is also a sign of fidelity of the husband and wife. When they are to wear the ring, it means that he is already bound to the person who he or she has given his or her free consent, which is the ring. Then of course also there is the symbol of the coins, in which it means that during the wedding rites, the man gives the coins or the array to the woman as a sign of her dedication to her welfare, which is to look at the material needs of her wife and of course the family. So basically, Sacrament of Marriage firstly gives you the grace to be to give you the necessary grace for a man and woman to live their new status in life. This is what they call the sanctifying grace, which is proper to the sacrament of marriage. Of course. Like for example, in the sacrament of priesthood, once the person is ordained, he is given the power of our Lord to live out the new dignity that has been given to him. So like marriage, the husband and wife has been given the grace in order for them to live out their new status in life. Secondly, it also gives them the power, like I've said earlier, to participate in the power of God, especially for the rearing of children. This is a grace properly given to husband and wife, which is the proper manner of using sexuality that is proper to person.